Welcome back to ChitChat. Today we have the Hua Hin Report. We'll be discussing about the Hua Hin rebound, how things have improved dramatically, not just in Thailand and Paddy, etc., but also with specifics about Hua Hin. Here we have Richard Buckle from 102, Surf 102.5. So Richard, what's been happening down in Hua Hin?
It's been really good here this last few weeks, very busy. We're just recovering from the Jazz Festival, the Hua Hin Jazz Festival, which took place just down the road. And what else? There are a lot of other events and things going on. But first of all, though, unfortunately, a very sad story. In the early hours of this morning, a car, about 3 o'clock in the morning, a car drove along Soi 94, crossed the railway line and was hit by a train. And that resulted in the death of 3 people. I don't have much detail on that, but it's really sad because, well, obviously, losing people like that is obviously really difficult. And it happens so close and right in the center of town. If you drive along Soi 94, there's the railway line. And normally there are a couple of guys to move the barriers that are on wheels. There's been a lot of construction around there with the new overhead railway and other things going on there as well. So we don't know really what the situation was like at 3 in the morning, but a car was hit. It was obviously pushed down the tracks and rolled over once or twice, and the occupants were obviously wiped out. So that's some sad news this morning. But other than that, Hua Hin has seen a terrific, really upsurge in numbers of people. As I was saying, the Jazz Festival took place last weekend, right next to the Sea Pine Hotel, which is just south of Hua Hin. It's a new location. Normally, it's been run next to the Centara, but they decided to move it south, where there's a lot more space, more parking, and generally a larger area. And it was quite a successful event, even though they didn't seem to have quite the amount of numbers of sponsors that they would have liked. And I know funding was tight. But it was a good event, a lot of seating, food on the beach, stalls on the beach, and everybody had a great time.
That's great. That's great. So what else has been happening down there? What plans, events are there for the sort of a festive season? What sort of tourists are coming in? Is it I hear there's a sort of resurge of Scandinavian and Russian and things like that. So are they still depending on Bangkok or?
Well, there's a lot of traffic from Bangkok, Thais from Bangkok at the weekends and over the long holiday, of course. But there's a lot more international visitors now, hotels. In fact, many of the hotels are 80, 90, nearly 100% full, most of the major 5 stars. So that really is, that's a real increase.
Yeah. Have they put up the Christmas decorations? Yeah. Have they got all the Christmas decorations out, or has that been up since early November?
Well, certainly Blueport have got Christmas decorations in quite a big way, and so has the Market Village, the 2 main shopping areas. Along the streets, not quite so much, but I think that'll happen over the next, few days or whatever.
Wait a minute, here's a trivia question for you. When should you put up your Christmas lights?
As late as possible.
So I looked this up out of trivia because I was asking myself, because I've just come back from a little trip, which I'll discuss later on, but Christmas trees and decorations should go up on the first day of Advent, whatever that is, all right, which is the 4th Sunday before Christmas. This year it falls on the 27th of November. And then when do you take them down? Because we were always brought up as a kid, if we didn't take them down on time, it was bad luck. And it's the 12th is the best time. The 12th night is the best time to take down your festive decorations, including your tree. The date falls on January 5th or 6th, depending on whether or not you count Christmas Day as one day. January 6th marks the day the 3 kings actually arrived in Bethlehem after Jesus was born. So this day signals the official end of Christmas celebrations. So you've got to take your Christmas decorations down by the 6th. There you go.
Well, that's a fair enough statement, and it's all based on the old religious principles. But of course, we're in Thailand and we've got Thai time. So things can go up just about any time and come down at any time. Our family put some lights up in the trees, for example. I have no idea why, but they did. They've been doing their thing for the last couple of weeks. But I think most of the shopping, it's more of a shopping thing here, isn't it? And a festival. Thais don't take Christmas seriously because
it's not even a holiday here. It's not a holiday. Quite rightly so. Quite rightly so.
But the marketeers like to celebrate in the shopping malls, so good luck to them as well. And it's also a good chance to stay in touch with everybody.
That's right. Right.
So as I was saying, there's a heck of a lot of stuff going on here. There was a major golf tournament on at Banyan last week. The Rotary did that annual fundraiser. They raised just over 1.1 million baht at the golf event. And of course, that money goes to local charities here and local schools and all the other activities that they get involved with. What else is going on this coming weekend? Patrick, the local photographer, Patrick Jacobs, has an exhibition of his incredible photographs. That'll take place at the Santara Hotel this coming weekend. And what I think is amazing is Patrick is really, he was originally a hair fashion designer, would you believe it, from Belgium, and got into photography as a hobby. And now he lives down by the beach and just walks along the beach and takes shots of the sunrise and the boats most days, and has produced some fantastic shots. And now, what I think is really interesting is that a lot of these pictures that Patrick produces for exhibitions, he has them printed on aluminium sheeting. It looks like aluminium sheeting. And it gives it the most unusual, superb glaze, I guess you could call that. It's super sharp, super crisp, and it gives it something really solid to mount the picture on. Absolutely fantastic. Well worth having a look at if you're around Hua Hin, Santara this coming weekend.
Are you going to buy one?
You buy one, get one free. I'm not too sure about that, but he's also got a series of calendars and other things that you can buy that are not so expensive. So there are calendars and postcards and a series of books as well that he's produced just about his local photographs. So Patrick's become quite well known, and we regularly chat with him on the radio and pop some of his photos up on our social media as well. The other big event this coming weekend is going to be the 10th World Cup, the 10th Hua Hin World Cup. In addition to the one that's going on in Qatar, we have our own for the teams that didn't quite make it in Qatar. 16 teams, a lot of Thai teams, but a lot of expats participating from many different countries, and a few people even flying in. So there are 16 teams playing on Saturday and Sunday, the Hua Hin World Cup at True Arena, family day out. We'll be broadcasting there live on Saturday and Sunday, on and off. A lot of local companies sponsor the event. Spine Clinic will be doing sort of massage and also providing first aid. There are solar companies down there talking about, offering their stuff with solar panels. There's insurance companies, a lot of local business getting involved. And it's also a family day, good food and drink.
Are they serving beer?
Saturday, Sunday. Can do.
Yeah.
Refreshments,
like
we call it.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to promote the alcohol stuff, but let's just say lots of refreshments available throughout the weekend.
So what else have you got on there?
Well, I mentioned the Santara a little while ago with Patrick's photos. Santara Hotel are about to celebrate 100 years next year, but they're already planning their events, and I'll talk more about that in our next session. But they've got a series of quite interesting old photographs of the last 100 years. So more about that later. There's a marathon taking place this weekend up in Petbury, just north of Cha-Am. So a lot of people participating in that. What else is going on? Dusatani have got their 20th vintage car show taking place.
Right.
I think that's the 16th to the 18th of December, Dusatani. But the vintage cars will drive through Hua Hin town. So that's worth looking out for over that weekend. Monsoon Valley have reopened. They closed for refurbishment. That's the vineyard about a 40-minute drive out of Hua Hin. They reopened. But also they had an event a couple of weeks ago, which I was invited to, where they sponsor and support a Thai-British Formula One driver. His name is Alex Albon. I was able to have a chat with him and recorded a short interview with him. Really nice kiddo. He's young. He's 26 years old. Got into Formula One racing, working very hard, and he's going to do very, very well, I think, in the coming years. Half Thai, born in London, but also had a parent from Thailand as well.
Yeah, I heard an offshoot story about that, where they were actually looking at trying to get the Formula One into Thailand. But is that another one of these promos?
I think that's an ongoing thing, and Alex said that he's right behind that kind of campaign and really wants to push it. I'm sure that'll happen one day, as soon as they get the conditions right and the politics are right, of course. Yeah, and I think the final thing this next towards New Year, Carabao will be back here with a free concert. I think that's over New Year. So, a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
And I've only mentioned a few things.
So I saw something in the news about there was a clampdown on overstays and things like that. Have you been hit with that down in Hua Hin? The focus was in between the 5th and the 10th in Pattaya, and there's quite a write-up about that. If you've overstayed, you've overstayed. Sort it out, yeah? But there was a big clampdown. Have you heard anything about that in Hua Hin?
Was, that hasn't been a major issue here, no.
That's good.
You think people actually overstay in Hua Hin? Of course they don't.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned about the racing. We are filming an endurance race, a 25-hour endurance race in Buriram between the 16th and the 19th. Yeah, so the main race is starts on the Saturday. 25 hours. Okay. So we're heading up there to film that and make a small documentary.
What kind of vehicles are they racing?
So it's like just cars, standard cars, but they're sort of tuned up. Some diesel, some petrol, and there's different classes of vehicles. There's 12-hour and then there's a 25-hour race. So we're going to be up for that full time, obviously filming any things that happen around the pits and things like that. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay, so that's what we're doing up in Buriram. So any more news?
Things are, not really news. I mean, things have been very slow in regard to the reopening of the airport. I understand through people that know that a site has been found not too far away for a casino, but no details and no specifics. But the airport is still not open to international traffic. It's all down to politics. It's all down to they'll do it when they're ready, and that could be at any time. So, we've been saying it for a year now. It's going to open. And hopefully it will. I think it'll be next year now.
All right. So really, that's probably a good roundup. We'll see if we can fit something in before the end of the year. But if not, from the Hua Hin side, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Exactly. Yes. I can't believe it's Christmas. There's no snow. It's kind of missing, isn't it? It's the one thing that's missing here. It's the cold weather, but I don't miss it personally. I much prefer to have an enjoyable day.
Well, I just came back from a trip, and we went up to Sukhothai. We drove up to Sukhothai. I've got my daughter over just now with her boyfriend. We went to Sukhothai and haven't been there in many, many years, probably 30 years. And it was fantastic trip. And then we went up to a place called Khao Ko Mountain. And we stayed at a homestay, which was also very different from the hotels, obviously, where you're spoiled. Yeah? And that was fantastic. And we climbed, I think I nearly had a heart attack. It was only 850 meters to climb up from the point we get dropped off. Yeah, but by God, it was about 45 degrees. Yeah, it was not degrees in temperature, degrees in angle. But the views were absolutely fantastic. And then we went to a place called Phetchabun. And Phetchabun was, you talk about the weather, it was really quite chilly. Yeah? But the views were absolutely fantastic. So that was a 4-day trip, which was excellent. So we just got back last night.
Well, that is terrific. It sounds like you had a great a great vacation. And it just shows Thailand has got so much to offer, whether you're a local resident or you're coming in from overseas. There are so many things to do, and getting out and about is well worth it, isn't it?
It certainly
Well, look,
is.
thank you very much, Andrew, and all the best for the holidays, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, speak to you later. Okay, that was Richard Buckle from the Hua Hin Report. Lots is happening, lots has happened, and obviously there is a clear rebound for Hua Hin in Thailand at the moment, even with the additional costs of flights, etc. So if you could like, share, comment, and subscribe, that would be fantastic. That helps us. Next year, just to we'll have another show before we go, before the end of the year. But next year we've got some new things to announce with the new shows and types of shows. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you later. Thank you.